Well, hello there. It's Karen Hollenbach from Think Bespoke. Welcome to the LinkedIn Marketer. Now, today I'm interested in exploring, is AI friend or foe when you write your LinkedIn profile? And I think this is a concept that some people have just rushed in and embraced. Absolutely, AI is fabulous. I use it all the time. And others are a little bit more tentative. So wherever you are on that journey of embracing a technological tool that it's got some sort of fear around it, and it's also got some discourse around it in regard to its environmental impact. So if you're choosing not to use AI, there are lots of reasons why. If you're choosing to use it, there are also lots of reasons why you would choose to use it. So today I really want to talk to you about using AI in the context of LinkedIn, and writing your LinkedIn profile. And so when you have, when you're tinkering on your LinkedIn profile or tending to your LinkedIn garden, as I like to call it, one of the options you have with a free account is you'll get prompted, would you like the help rewriting this section, the about section, or various sections of your LinkedIn profile? And so if you've got a free account, you'll say, yes, that would be great. It says, okay, you've got to upgrade or trial premium for 30 days. So if that's where you are, the thing I would say is there are other reasons why premium might be a good investment for you, whether it's career or business premium for your LinkedIn profile. But there are actually free AI tools that you could be using, ChatGPT being one. There's lots of others that you could use just as effectively as the LinkedIn profile AI writing tool. So that's sort of the first thing I'd say. If you're thinking of upgrading to premium purely to get access to generative AI tools to help you write your profile, probably don't need to do that at this stage. There are other reasons to invest in premium, and maybe I'll dedicate a future episode to that. It's conditional. There's certainly lots of things you can do with your LinkedIn profile without investing in premium. So, friend or foe. So this is where I think this is where I think AI can be fantastic. So if you're already a confident writer, you probably don't need AI to craft a strong LinkedIn profile. But that said, even skilled writers can benefit from AI as a tool to refine and polish the great words that you've already written. And so there are three parts of your LinkedIn profile where I think it's really useful to use tools like generative AI. However, it's conditional. You need to really think through some key things before you just hand over the reins to the generative AI tools. And this is where I think some people make a mistake, that they don't sort of think about how to drive, stay in the driver's seat with AI. They're really sort of getting onto AI and putting in prompts and not really thinking it through. So if you decide to use AI as your writing assistant versus your ghost writer, so I want you to write the original draft of either your headline, your about section, or the experience section, I think that's where AI can be really effective, because if you just let AI take over, the dangers of that is that it inserts awkward dashes, and the free versions often switch S for Z, which is important in an Australian professional context, and it suggests edits that can be overly dressed up with emojis. And I don't recommend that you use emojis in your LinkedIn profile updates, and certainly I've got some reservations about using it in content, but we can discuss that in a future episode too. So my aim is for you to create a LinkedIn profile that truly reflects who you are and where you're heading. A profile that feels like you, because as a wise author once said, everyone else is taken. But it feels like you in writing. And so readers who are going through your LinkedIn profile and discovering you for the first time, maybe because you've been recommended to them for the services that you provide, or the organisation that you lead, or the opportunities that you're exploring from a board or career perspective. So when readers look at your LinkedIn profile, they should hear your voice in your words just as they would in a conversation. And I think that's where some of the dangers of AI come in. If you're not prompting it correctly around tone, if you're not drafting the words first, it's probably not going to sound like you. So in my LinkedIn profile writing course, I've actually decided to include AI prompts within the modules dedicated to headline, experience, and about section, because I want people to embrace these tools in a way that AI does become their friend. And really so it reduces the cognitive load of, oh, how do I describe myself in 220 characters, which is that's the character limit for the headline, or oh, I've got 2,600 characters to describe myself in the about section. How do I do that? What do I talk about? How do I even approach it? So I do provide a structure for how I think you should approach the about section. Always, when you're listening to this, these episodes, jump over to Think Bespoke's knowledge base, and I've written a lot about sort of how-tos around how to approach different parts of your LinkedIn profile, and sort of have a look there if you're sort of like, oh, what is that structure, Karen? I would like to know. So with that in mind, friend or foe, if you do decide that AI is your friend, this is what I sort of recommend you do sort of before using AI, sort of before going in and just diving in and going, write my whole LinkedIn profile, drop your whole CV in, which you won't be able to do because it will say, no, that's too long. This is what I think you should do. First of all, I think you should immerse yourself in my insights. Now, of course, I'm going to say that, but the reason I'm saying that is because there's two key questions I think you need to ask yourself before you spend time on LinkedIn. The first question is, what do I want to be known for? And the second question is, who am I trying to influence when I'm on LinkedIn? And I go into that in a lot more detail on the blog and in my LinkedIn profile writing course. So just really think through why you're on LinkedIn, because that should inform how you write your profile, but also how you engage on LinkedIn. So what I mean by, what you like and comment on, what you follow. The other thing is to use your own words. So start with your own words when you're drafting the different sections of your LinkedIn profile. So AI is most effective when it's enhancing your voice for clarity, impact, and relevance, not rewriting from scratch. And then the other key thing to think about, so sort of three things. Think about those questions that I asked you, those two questions, use your own words. And then the third thing is clarify your tone and audience. So this is what I see a lot of people miss with AI. And I think this is your opportunity to make AI your friend when writing your LinkedIn profile. So when prompting AI, specify the tone you want: friendly, professional, creative, data-driven, and make sure it's consistent with who you are as a professional, not who you would ideally like to be. Because remember, this is you writing about you, and you want to give the reader a sense of what you're like as a professional. Also describe your intended audience, whether they're industry peers, clients, or recruiters. Now, this helps AI produce writing that feels authentic and connects with the right people. So there we have it, AI, friend or foe, something for you to think about in the context of writing your LinkedIn profile. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and do check in with me and let me know if there's other topics you would like me to explore in this season as we look at the LinkedIn profile experience for you and understanding the different features within the LinkedIn profile experience, as well as your user experience. So pet hates you might have about LinkedIn, do reach out, either contact me via Think Bespoke's website or reach out to me on LinkedIn. Thanks for tuning in today. See you next time.